guys. We in here. Yeah. Welcome back to another live. It's your boy, Real Talk Shawty. Gonna play some music while you come on in. I don't know why YouTube keep messing up my live. I don't know if it's YouTube or what. What up, what up, what up? Y'all come on in. What up? Y'all come on in real quick. I just got a quick little live for y'all. I was trying to go live earlier, but it kept cutting off. Raise the nation, change the station from where everyone's playing. Vibration is a weight to keep the Lord on my playlist of my yacht. What's the origin and plot? Are we gonna rise up or flop? Your energy and God, yeah. That depends if you're real or if you're fraud. That's why I asked the sermon from God. 613 laws. Universal laws. Yeah, but we can't keep them all. Why? But we can keep them small. How you do that? Disconnect them from their God. Disconnect them. With no leadership, they are destined to fall. Blind leading the blind. From the spring into the fall. We gon' praise his name and Kwame. What's up, guys? Yeah. What's up, Paige? What's up, stupid? What's up, Max? Y'all come on in real quick, just for a quick minute. We vibing out today. Sitting, reminiscing on how good y'all's grace is. Time is ticking, but the Lord never changed. Change the station from where everyone's playing. Vibration is a weight to keep the Lord on my playlist. What's up? What's up, Patrick? But I'm never going down. I'm always up. You know what? That's my side of town. No frowns, cause I leveled up. It's time to put them shovels up. Yeah. Shut the devil up. I'm not sipping from the devil cup. Slaying the competitors. Name someone better than us. You can't, yeah. Competition tripping if they thinking they ahead of us. Yeah. On the swivel. You in the middle. I'm thinking time is ticking, but the Lord never changed. Raise the nation, change the station from what everyone's playing. Vibration is a way to keep the Lord on my playlist.
Shout out to Real Talk Shorty and the true royal family. We in here giving all honor.
Gotta check these people's temperatures real quick. You know what I mean? You can't trust everybody. Make sure you keep your eyes open and move with discernment. Even the closest ones to you. You always gotta make sure you move with discernment. And keep everybody accountable. That way there's no room for error. We're gonna finish this conversation back from where we left off last live. Just waiting for some more people to get in.
Shout out to Real Talk Shorty and the true royal family. We in here giving all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High, y'all.
The devil's so hot, but the heart's so
All
cold.
praise to the Most High.
Everything glitter ain't gold, you know. Where you at? You already know. Stay away from them heathens. They don't need no reason. God is the best, that's right. All honor and praise and glory be to the Most High. Forever and ever and ever. It's something big going on in the universe right now. Everybody is waking up and everybody is rising to the occasion. Everybody is lifting each other up. That's what we need right now. A global movement. And hold people accountable for the BS they've been doing. You know? And the stuff they've been teaching us and telling us.
Check the temperature. Check the temperature.
All right, guys, so we can go ahead and jump right on in it. Picking up from where we had left off when I tried to go live earlier today, and for some reason the live cut off at like 24 minutes. And then I tried to upload it, and when I tried to upload it, only like 10 seconds would upload, which is crazy. I don't know what's going on. So this is my second attempt to do it today. But picking back up from what we had left off at, we were talking about how, a lot of texts have been manipulated to teach us things in an inverted way, meaning they'll give us text and say, this is the knowledge that you need to learn, but the knowledge that they're giving us is not either the full text, incomplete, or it's some inverted text that is completely done in reverse to cause us to have all type of mishaps and confusion and chaos going on. So what we have to do is just take these things with a grain of salt, move with discernment, and do your own research. And so what I've been noticing is like the part in the Bible, because here's the thing about the Bible, right? There was two different types of Bibles that was introduced in the Americas. There was the original Bible, the so-called King James version of the Bible, and then there was the slave version of the Bible. And both of those versions of the Bible were tampered with because they were translated several times. So when you're looking for scripture and true gospel, you have to go to the untainted, untampered with pieces of information. And those pieces of information is not just freely, public or it's not freely accessible, because they don't want the public to have this information. They really want the public to be dumbed down so they can have leverage over the public, because knowledge is power. So they'll have the same information that we're about to talk about in books, but it's not freely given because they don't want the general public to have access to it. So they'll have these books for like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 with this same knowledge in there, and they'll share it amongst their groups and their colleagues and individuals. But for the majority of the individuals that aren't inside of their groups, they're gonna push a rhetoric that really truly don't even make sense, honestly. And there's nothing really carnal about it. Because I had read something, I don't know if it was talking to me or not, but somebody was saying something about spiritual things sound foolish to the carnal mind, but it's not even about being carnal, because this is about being spiritual. And sometimes spiritual things to the unlearned may sound foolish, but the way God moves, sometimes we may not understand. But as far as the text and things that are written, it has to make sense because the paper that they used to write it on, it was real. The ink that they used to write on the paper was real, and what they're saying needs to be real. It all needs to make sense. It all needs to line up. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is going back to what I was speaking about in regards to the women in our society. The women are in control of basically how the society moves. And when a family is interrupted and when a woman has things that she has to do that takes her out of her ability to be a full woman, then it kind of lowers the vibrational frequency of the house. It lowers the frequency of the planet. And that's pretty much what they want. And a lot of times we fuss and we fight and we go back and forth because there's a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, and therefore there's a lack of respect. So in these texts, like in the Bible, it says something about woman was made from a man's rib. And you have to ask yourself, well, how could that be possible? Because that's just a story. See, these pastors, what they'll do is they'll try to teach adults off of storylines. And these are things that have to be questioned because we can't continue to just go with just narratives. We have to question the narrative and figure out, okay, how is this truly possible? Like, prove all things. Even in the Bible, it says prove all things. So we can't just go off of just one scripture or one verse and utilize that to paint a narrative as a truth, because that's not a truth. And, I do believe in the Bible, but like I said, the Ethiopian Bible is the original Bible. That's the Bible that they pulled bits and pieces and books out of to create these versions of the Bible that they have over here in the Americas. So to continue to elaborate on how valuable our women are in society, even in the game of chess. The game of chess, the queen is the most valuable piece on the chessboard because it can move anywhere it wants to go, as far as it wants to go, versus the king can only move one step at a time. Now, in the game of chess, when the queen piece is taken, the game isn't over yet because the name of the game is to stop the other person's king from moving. That's how you checkmate, or that's how you win the game of chess. You checkmate the other person's king. And that's what's been going on in our society for the last 400 to 500 years. We've been checkmated, meaning the king can't move, or they've put the stalemates or the chiefs or the generals, basically the people who are supposed to be in charge or supposed to be in leadership positions, have been checkmated. And we got to get ourselves out of these checkmated positions because we have to keep movement. We have to keep motion within the community. We can't just stop and just talk and just allow these things to happen and to continue to fly over our heads. So with a lot of this stuff that I'm bringing up, it's just really common sense, but it's stuff that hasn't been taught to us in school or even in the churches. So women, they also mature faster. Like I was saying on the last live, women have a double X chromosome. Men have an X and a Y chromosome, and the X chromosome is twice as big as the Y chromosome, which is, it carries hundreds more genes than a Y chromosome can. And another thing too, they're the first creators. Women are the first creators. If men were the first creators and women came from a man, then how did the man feed the woman? Like as a baby? Because if women came from men, which that scripture says in the Bible, just that one part, and this is not an attack on the Bible. This is just an attack on foolish nonsense and rhetoric. And we need to wake up and become more aware of what these people are teaching us and spreading us, especially to our children, because that's where it starts. It starts with idle minds. And With an idle mind, you'll accept anything for truth. So this is what we have to check. We have to check the information that's been given to us, because it has to start making sense at some point, right? Women are the first creators. They create babies from seeds, and they create meals from seeds. And as a man, right, we have seeds, and this isn't a bash on men either, because I'm a man. But what I'm making or bringing an awareness to is that as a man, yes, I do have a seed, but it takes the woman to cultivate that seed. Like once a man passes their seed to a woman, the woman has to cultivate it. It has to be cultivated in soil, or flesh, and then sunlight, or good energy, and water. Just like a regular seed. Any farmer knows that when you're planting a seed, it has to be planted in good soil, and you have to give it sunlight and water. If not, the seed won't grow. So we have to take into consideration that the woman is truly valuable. And so without her, the seeds won't grow. And the Bible refers to women as soil. So when we're looking at these things from a metaphoric standpoint, if the woman represents the soil of the earth, then she's connected to the land. And if our land has been taken from us, the indigenous people, or the majority of the indigenous people in the world, not just here in the Americas, but in the world, then that means there's been a disconnect with the man and the woman. Because if the land has been confiscated and the land has been taken, then the women have been taken. The women have been confiscated mentally, spiritually. So we have to do things to get our people back into alignment with their natural selves, so that they can become their highest and their greatest version, and allow our families and our communities to flourish again. So with a lot of information that's coming out nowadays, it's no excuse to not know what's going on around you. So the first shall be last. And in the Bible, it speaks about the first shall be last. So if women were first, and if women truly were in positions of rulership where they were able to have things function naturally without pollution, or without destroying the land, or destroying the environment, then that's what's about to slowly come back into fruition. Because this is a feminine planet. It's a magnetic planet. And feminine doesn't mean soft or girly. It just means magnetic. It means attractive. And then masculine just means electric. So when it comes down to it, these are the things that's starting to come back into fruition. You understand what I'm saying? Electricity just means you push out, and magnetic just means you pull. So there's always a push and a pull going on within the universe. So, like I was just saying, these are a couple things that I wanted to mention, because like I said, with a lot of camps, even camps that teach certain knowledge out of the Bible, it's like you got to touch on all the topics. Don't just have a narrative, because once you go online, or once you go outside on the curb and you're out here preaching and teaching, it's like you can't just push one narrative, because that's just like going to school and having a curriculum. You're no different. You got to touch on all topics. You got to touch on everything that's going on. I really wanted to go real deep into this live, because it's a lot of things that has really been coming up to my attention in regarding how things that's been going on, Y'all have any questions so far? Let's see. You got to understand how strong women are. Shoot, Harriet Tubman, she freed the slaves. She's a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that, pardon me, that wouldn't be the way they are without our women, our strong women. So we got to salute them. We got to value them. We got to be able to provide and protect our women, because, they've been living through a lie for so long. Like my grandmother, she died believing that Jesus Christ was a so-called white man. And there's nothing wrong with believing that, but that's not necessarily true according to the text. The same text that's in the Bible. But when you look at pictures and everything, you know, of course we already had this conversation, but it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. So these are things that we got to wake up to and become aware to, you know, and push more of. So just don't believe anything that you hear or that you see. You have to really feel your way through life nowadays because it's a journey. And people are going to misdirect you on purpose because they don't want you to make it to your destination. So they're going to purposely get in your way and purposely try to redirect you because that's their job. That's their mission, you know. NPCs, whatever you want to call them. And so, you know, let's see, is there anything else I want to touch on real quick? You got a lot of different mother references. You know, you got like mothership, mother load, mother earth, mother nature. You know what I mean? James Brown said it was a man's world, but it's not. It's a woman's world. It's a feminine world. It's a magnetic world. It's attractive. It's vibrant. You know, that's how it functions. You understand what I'm saying? It's balanced though. It's balanced. It's balanced, but you know, one has a greater effect than the other. You know, one can make things happen really without doing anything, just by existing. You know, that's power. That's like 0 point energy. You can make things happen just by existing. You know, you don't have to push anything out or go do anything. You just exist and things happen. You know, that's power. You know, and as far as men, you know, we're rare. You know, we're the ones with the Y chromosome, so we're the ones that determine if there's a male child is going to be born or not, because we are in charge of if we pass on our Y chromosome to the child or if we pass on the X chromosome, because like I said, the woman already has two X's, so she has no regard to if the child comes out male or female. That depends on the male. But that doesn't mean that all women come from men. No. The first man came from a woman. You know what I mean? That even refers to Christ. You know, the Son of Man. You understand what I'm saying? Immaculate conception. You know, Christ could have been born, you know, that particular way. And he could have a bloodline of individuals that came from him, which was the first man or a man that came from a woman through immaculate conception, which would connect him more so to spirit, because his chromosomes would be, you know, his Y chromosome will probably be a little bit longer than most other male Y chromosomes, because he didn't have a male pass it off to him. He had his passed off by a woman, so to speak. I don't know. Theoretically speaking. But you know, nowadays you got to question everything. So you know, if you don't have the mindset to question things, then you will be easily misled and guided down the wrong path. So just question everything. You know, anything is possible, especially if it makes sense. You know, that's all I want to do is just bring awareness and clarity, you know, to YouTube today. Honestly, nobody asking no questions. I think that's about it. I don't want to make this live too long. I guess we can wrap it up right there. But stay tuned. We're gonna continue to have these lives going and have different discussions. So if you like what's going on, like, share, and subscribe. I'll get at y'all on the next video. All praise to the Most High. Shalom.